Is this thing on? Welcome back to Big Mouth and fancy seeing you here. And you are welcome, my friends, and especially my enemies. Welcome, welcome. Sit down. Let's talk about this man behind me, Chris Wong Svensson, Ping Pong Flicks. This guy has achieved something very few YouTubers have done, and that is to have a successful channel without being negative or poisonous. From the very offset of this channel's beginning, he's shown he's very passionate about the Snyderverse of DCEU, but he's still a DC fan. He's still very excited about the future of the DCEU, as I am. But everything is very positive and nothing becomes poisonous. So why am I talking about Chris today? I've been an admirer of his for a long time. Partly, he's one of the YouTubers who inspired me to do a channel. I'm talking about him because very shortly in today's video that he did, his latest video, he's very passionate and concise, and I loved everything about what he said, because he's been talking about, what's his name, Bet Fritz, his article in the Wall Street Journal, and how he should come back and admit that terrible article he did. And we all remember what happened with that article. We felt so down, didn't we? As a franchise of fans, of a group of fans, because it seemed like the end of the fight for the Snyder Cut, didn't it? It seemed like, in a way, it seemed like Warner Brothers put him up to it. But deeper, I think that Kevin Sugihara put Fritz. I think Sugihara was behind the article, and that's one of many issues why he's not there now. And in a minute, I will put the volume up, and we can listen to what Chris says at the end, as he talks about a Twitter account where Snyder fans and people fighting for the Snyder Cut actually can go to a place on Twitter, an account, and just talk about the Snyder Cut. And he says some great things like, oh, you don't have to like Zack Snyder, you don't have to like the DCEU, you don't have to like the MCU, because this is about more than the Snyder fans. This is about more than whether you want to see the Snyder Cut or not. This is about the future of Hollywood. Because what was done to Zack Snyder was very, very wrong. And if they can do it to him, they can do it to anyone. And I'm not just talking about Warner Brothers here. It could happen to anyone. It should never have happened, because the film that he finished shooting and producing was going to be something special. And what we got was something watered down. But worse than watered down, it was incomplete. It should never have been released. And all they had to do is release Zack Snyder's version of the film and then said, you know what, Zack, we're going down a different direction. But they didn't do that. So now everyone's fighting for the Snyder Cut. And as Chris says on this video, it's all the big sites now talking about it. All the big name pundits now talking about it. This is gone beyond just seeing Zack Snyder's cut of Justice League. And it's very interesting what he said at SnyderCon. He says, you know, it's not up to me. It's pretty much ready. It exists. You know how these things work. He said, I think he might have said to Chris at SnyderCon. So he's admitted, we all know now that the Snyder Cut is real. So that's one thing that no one can argue about, because it came out of the horse's mouth. And I don't want to call Zack Snyder a horse, but it came out of his mouth. It's the truth. There's no going back from that now. So apparently he also said at SnyderCon that people are listening. The pressure, we are putting the pressure on them. Not me so much, but you wonderful people, really, really, I mean, some of you are so relentless. I don't have the time and the energy to fight as hard as some of you do. But what you're doing, this is important. Because as I said, the day the news comes out that they're going to release the Snyder Cut in whatever form, I will take my copy of the Justice League Blu-ray and I will snap it in half on a video here on my channel. As I say, very shortly I will put the volume on and we'll listen to what Chris has to say, because he really does make an impassioned plea. Should we see what he's saying now?
Do this. You The Ferrucci brother Shiraz reached out to me today. I've been talking to Brandon Turner. I've been talking to a whole bunch of different people. Eric from Hard Boiled, Leonidas, I don't really know her real name, but Leonidas, Nick D, Ramesh, and this new Twitter account came up at RT Snyder Cut, and everyone is joining that, and I encourage you to join that. Let's come together. Settle your differences outside of that account. In this table, at this RT Snyder Cut account on Twitter, this is where we attack. This is where we will come together. This is where we will fight for the Snyder Cut. This is the one purpose, the one goal for this account is to talk about the Snyder Cut. I don't care if you like the MCU or if you don't like the MCU. I don't care if you like the DCU. I don't care what happens to the other thing in this account but the Snyder Cut, because settle your differences. Don't bring those into this account. This at RT Snyder Cut is for the Snyder Cut. Okay, we are unified here. We are in this round table of knights. We're here to get the Snyder Cut released, because the Snyder Cut, like I've said many before, is beyond just a movie. This represents artistic, creative integrity. It represents the justice for the artists. It represents the art for the artists and the artists themselves. This represents something bigger than just a movie. This represents a culture that Hollywood needs to go by. This represents that everybody should know. Movies are not determined by the critics. Movies not determined by the bloggers. The movies are not determined by the studios. The movies are determined by the artists. You pay these artists to make your movies. Respect them. And let them make their movies. Let them create their art. Let them create their books, their music. Challenge them. But do not deny them their creativity. That is what the Snyder Cut represents. This is a new day. And I said it before, after the Arts Center, it's going to be a whole brand new day. We didn't get to see a Snyder Cut or anything like that, but Zach confirmed it. We are bigger. We are stronger together now. Our voices are going to be heard. We're going to unite. We're going to make campaigns. We're going to do letter campaigns. We're doing a whole bunch of other stuff. And we will not be silenced. Our voices will be heard at Warner Brothers Pictures, at Warner Media, whoever is in charge of this, whoever is involved in this, whoever has the power right now to release the Snyder Cut. Thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you.
All I can do is just applaud, because that was absolutely fantastic. That is an impassioned plea, not by someone who cares about clicks and subscribers, because he's got them. He's already got, what, 100k viewers? It doesn't matter. He knows people are going to come in for his videos now. Everybody knows him. Everyone who likes his videos and likes his channel and is a Snyder fan goes to watch him. He's successful already because of what he does, as I've explained before. He seems like a really nice guy. He's a family man. He's got a very soft voice. He's not aggressive. He talks about DCEU news. He talks about the Snyder Cut. He mixes both kind of subjects together, and he's been very successful doing it because he's passionate, because he cares, and he's not the only one. We all care. And as Chris said himself, this is about more than just watching this film now. This is important because, I repeat, what happened to Zack Snyder and what they did to him and how they wouldn't allow him to release that movie is despicable. Now, I wouldn't mind if Joss Whedon came in and made his own Justice League film and it was really epic and awesome. I can't say, do you know what? I'll stand up and applaud Joss. He was allowed to make his movie. They did like the direction Zack went in. Even though I'm not happy with the way Zack was treated, That's a great movie. Well done, Joss Whedon. We move forward with the new DCEU. That was the plan from Kevin Sujihara. But it didn't work. It only made things worse. And in the end, all these firings happened. And now Peter Safran and Walter Hamada are running things beautifully. And I'm very excited for the future of that. But I can only echo every single syllable, every single word that Chris has said. If basically it's the ping pong flicks, if you don't subscribe to him, you've never seen a video, not aggressive, not a loudmouth, not arrogant, just a normal, everyday fan who loves Zack Snyder, loves Zack Snyder's DCEU movies, and is a fan of his, but ultimately, he's a Superman fan, he's a DC fan, he's like me and you. We just care. We know what happened to Zack Snyder. First point, we know what happened to Zack was wrong, but it goes beyond that. Zack Snyder made an awesome, epic movie. He's described it to us already. We know it's better than what we've got. We want to watch it. No, we demand to watch it. It's our film. It's our film. We have a right to see it. He made it for us. It was going to finish off something, right? Now, originally, there was going to be 2 or 3 Justice League films. It was going to be really expansive. It's a shame. That will never happen. But at least, let us see this film. Call it the real Justice League, right? Forget about the Justice Cut. Let's move on from that. Let's stop hating on that. Have the real Justice League so we can just move on and have finish this collection of the first part of the DCEU. That's all we want. And now it's not just us. It's every film fan now. It's every consumer is intrigued about the Snyder Cut. We are now mainstream. People are listening to us. This film must be released on Blu-ray, DVD, 4K. I would absolutely buy the hell out of it on 4K Blu-ray. Of course I would. And if it was available for me to get on a streaming service or maybe buy on Prime Video, I would do that too. But right now, I just want to say, well done, Chris Wong-Svensson. What a beautiful, impassioned plea to everyone who cares about superheroes and films. Support the Snyder Cut. If we get your support right, we can win. We all get to see it. But we need more than the fandom that we have right now. Now, Zack Snyder's got a lot of support. His version of the DCEU is loved by many, many people around the world. But just imagine if you guys, you randoms, get involved as well. People who go and watch films and love TV shows, not necessarily comic book fans. Imagine if you actually support this and support us. Where have the numbers? If you want to support this cause, hashtag release the Snyder Cut at Warner Brothers Pictures. Please, please, please do it. Whoever watches this video, please do it. You will have my undying gratitude. Please comment down below. Tell me what you think of this video. Please follow Chris. I don't know him. We're not friends or anything. If I did know him, I'm sure we would be friends. But please follow him at the Ping Pong Flicks on YouTube. And Chris Wong-Svensson, I think he's on Twitter as well. So please give him a follow because we're all part of the same team. That's it. I'm going to finish this video saying this. Don't thank me, Warden. We're all part of the same team. Night.